making a liar out of me. Stubby plastic spouts and I don't like them. Hello fellow coffee botherers, today I'm going to be talking about this, the KitchenAid 5KES6551 integrated grinder espresso machine. What a catchy name. KitchenAid have sent me this on loan to review. It's not a freebie or a sponsored video. They are going to be giving it away after I've reviewed it, so go to coffeeblog.co.uk/giveaway to enter. It's completely free, and if this has already been given away by the time you're watching this, there'll be something else up for grabs, so you might as well enter. So let's get on with it, starting with the specs. Dimensions in centimetres, 34.5 centimetres wide, 35.8 centimetres deep and 44.6 centimetres tall. In inches, 13.6 inches wide, 14.1 deep and just over 17.5 tall. Thermocoil heater, heat up time around 45 to 50 seconds. 2.7 litre water tank, 13 centimetres max cup height. 58mm heavyweight metal portafilter with a flat bottom, pressurised and standard non-pressurised baskets, single shot and double shot, PID, algorithmic temperature control, I think, with 3 brew temperature settings, integrated conical burr grinder with 15 external grind settings and 8 internal grind adjustments, which aren't quite what they seem, lockable removable bean hopper, ion beam for reduced static, barista light and grinder light, single and double shot buttons, timed, as with the Sage or Breville Barista Touch, not volumetric as with the Barista Express, more on that shortly, Pro Steam Wand ball jointed, pre-brew type Preinfusion, pressure gauge. Available in a range of colours including this new colour, Candy Apple. KitchenAid 5KES6551 in a nutshell. This is an integrated grinder espresso machine from KitchenAid, and the easiest way to describe it is KitchenAid's answer to the Sage or Breville Barista Express, with a couple of pros and a couple of cons, which I'll go through a bit later in this video. But how does it actually compare, and is it worth paying more for this than the Barista Express? Keep watching and you'll find out. How much is it? At RRP or MSRP, it's £699 in the UK, €699 in Germany, $699 in America, $999 Canadian dollars in Canada. What's the grinder like? It's very quiet. It has 15 grind settings and also 8 internal adjustments. I've not seen any brand other than Sage or Breville doing this, so I thought that was quite interesting. But it comes set to 1 and the other 7 settings are all coarser. And this one appears to be calibrated to coarse. I'm told there is a way to calibrate it finer. I'm just waiting for them to give me the instructions for that, and I'll give you an update on that in the description. It could just be a problem machine. It does happen that machines go out calibrated too far one way or the other. It happens with Sage or Breville machines too. But with them, if that happens, you can just take the top burr out and take it a notch finer or coarser. With this, you can only adjust the burrs coarser. And I'm not sure how easy the calibration is, but I'll let you know when I've done it. Sometimes when I press the grind button, nothing happens. And I've realised from reading the quick start guide that this means the grinder mount selection is in between 2 dots and isn't pointing directly at a dot. How weird. Let's talk about the hopper. There's the hopper. It'll take a full bag of beans, about 250 grams, although personally I wouldn't leave your beans in the hopper because they're not airtight. It is good that you can do that, and what I really like about it is with the Sage or Breville machines, when you take the hopper off, you can't really get your hands in to get the beans out, but with this it's got a big square like cavity, so I can actually get my hand in, obviously with the machine unplugged. I can just go like that and just pull out the last few beans that are sitting on top of the burrs. Let's say I now put decaf in this one, or if I bought a spare hopper for 50 quid, I could leave the other beans in that one, put my decaf in that one, just move the few beans that were in the way out, and then put that one on, like that, which is quite good. So that was the hopper. Now let's talk about the water tank.
It's a big one.
It is, and I really like it, and it feels heavyweight. The handle is, I don't know if it's overkill a little bit, but the handle is, thick metal. But it is nice. It's really nice quality. I'm just going to put a filter in, and it's big. 2.7 litre. Does it have a 9-bar OPV, overpressure valve? It doesn't, as I know from testing it with a blind disc, and KitchenAid have told me that it has a safety valve set at 14 bars. Stops at like 1/4 so there must be a valve. There must be an OPV or a safety valve. An OPV, overpressure valve, limits the pressure that can build up in the basket. When you're using the standard single-wall baskets, the maximum pressure most people will want in the basket is about 9 bars. You achieve this with the right grind size, but having a 9-bar OPV just makes dialing in a bit easier. So it's a bit of a shame they've not included a 9-bar OPV, I think. It does have a pressure gauge though, and if the needle is beyond 12 on the dial, 12 o'clock on the dial, then you know the pressure is too high, which means you probably need to grind coarser. I'm not having that issue with it though. I'm having the issue of being able to grind fine enough. Does it have a 3-way solenoid valve? I thought it did, so I asked KitchenAid why they don't include a backflush disc, and it turned out that it has a multi-valve manifold, not a 3-way solenoid. The manifold kicks in during the auto cleaning cycle, purging and rinsing the brew path, and they told me that using a 58mm backflush disc, which you can get from anywhere, is fine, and doing this occasionally wouldn't harm the machine and would be a way to deep clean the machine if desired. What's the portafilter like? Let's have a look. Portafilter. I really like it. It's like, feels really heavy duty, high quality, and I like the fact that it's flat, so when you put it on scales it's easy for tamping. You don't have to put it at the edge of a table. But then you turn it over and it's got these stubby plastic spouts and I don't like them. So I think if obviously it's all plastic.
Can you take that out?
Inside, no.
The audience loves plastic products.
Don't they just?
As we know from the comments.
Yeah. I just think they could have done something similar to the La Marzocco Linea Micra, you know, where you can actually put, and with the Meraki as well. Look what I've got here. You can just do that. Something like that would have been great on that. I don't think you can take the plastic thing out. You might be able to. If you have done, let me know in the comments. What's the steam wand like? It's okay. It's a fairly standard steam wand. There's nothing much to say about it really. The tip isn't removable, so the only way to clean it is to give it a wipe and poke the hole with a pokey thing. It has enough flexibility and it's long enough to enable ghost steaming, hands-free milk frothing, which is good. What's the Preinfusion like? This is pre-brew or bloom type pre-infusion. The pump runs for about 2.5 seconds and then there's roughly a 2.5 second pause and then the pump engages again. Fairly standard pre-infusion. I think it's okay. Personally, I wouldn't buy a machine like this based on pre-infusion. And if you're really concerned with pre-infusion, most integrated grinder espresso machines probably aren't going to cut the mustard. And I don't know why you'd want to cut the mustard anyway. A spoon is much better for that. Temperature settings. Low, medium, high. We don't actually know what these relate to because there's quite a lot of numbers flying about, but they appear to be about what it's supposed to be in the cup, not what it is in the group. There are 3 temperature settings, low, medium and high. KitchenAid's say low is around 87 to 90 degrees Celsius or 189 to 194 degrees Fahrenheit. Medium is around 89 to 93 Celsius, 192 to 199 Fahrenheit. And high is around 93 to 96 Celsius, 199 to 205 Fahrenheit. This does seem quite a wide range. I'm surprised by how broad they are, given it has a PID. But from my testing, I suspect that most of the time, the brew temperature is towards the upper end of the estimates. So I found the medium temperature settings probably best for the beans I've used with it so far, which have all been medium dark blends. They are coming back to me with more details on the PID, so I'll also update you with the answers to that in the description. Speaking of coffee beans, even though I wasn't, this would be a good time to introduce our sponsor. I was supposed to be promoting a firm who drills holes in the ground, but that's boring. So the sponsor this week, amazingly, is me. My coffee beans from seaworks.co.uk are all freshly roasted. We have a growing range of currently 22 different coffees and counting, and obviously with me being an espresso maniac, we have lots of coffees that are great for machines like this. In particular, with this machine, I'd be looking at chocolate fondant blend and dark chocolate and hazelnut Brazil, both of which will work very well at slightly coarser grind. And you'll probably love them, but find out for yourself. Go to seaworks.co.uk/25 for 25% off your first order. Back to the KitchenAid. The pressure gauge. As with the Barista Express, the pressure gauge doesn't give pressure markings, which always annoys me, but KitchenAid have told me that 12 o'clock on the dial, the middle of the espresso range, is 9 bars. I've not managed to get the needle anywhere near 9 bars though, but as I've said, I think it's calibration issues with the grinder. I'm kind of surprised because it's bang on 9 bars. It's making a liar out of me. 27 seconds. I apologise, KitchenAid.
So did they send you out a new?
So to be fair, they've sent me out a whole new machine. They swapped the machine out, and in my first tests with the machine, I didn't think it had made any difference, but it appears I was wrong. Maybe I messed something up, or I don't know. But that is definitely way, way better than it was with the first one. So it must have just been a dodgy. But you know, again, I am on the. But that was a good shot.
Give you any room then?
Not much wiggle room, no. I mean, that is.
Finest and the finest.
It's on the finest internal grind setting. But to be fair, bang on 9 bars, 27-second shot with brownie blend. That is pretty decent. Timed shot buttons. When you reprogram the shot buttons, just keep in mind that you're programming how long the pump runs for, not how much water is dispensed, as would be the case with volumetric shot buttons like the ones found on the Barista Express. This doesn't make much difference. It's important with both types of shot buttons that you know what the shot volume is. So just make sure that the shot weight you're getting in this time is about right for the coffee you're using. For example, with chocolate brownie blend, we'd recommend about 32 to 36 grams from an 18-gram dose. For all the Seaworks recipes, go to seaworks.co.uk/brew guides. Espresso quality. Espresso quality is going to come down to the beans you're using and how well dialed in you are. I can't really tell you much about the espresso quality at the moment until I've figured out how to calibrate the grinder, but I'll put more about this in the description once I have. Warranty. It comes with a 2-year warranty on parts and labour in all countries, from what I can ascertain, but in Europe there's also the KitchenAid 10-year repair promise, which means that the guarantee you'll be able to get your machine repaired for 10 years as long as you're happy to pay for parts and labour. Test results. I have done decibel tests with this machine. I'm only doing this now if there's anything outside of the norm, as most machines are almost exactly the same for loudness, but this is noticeably quiet. Grinding is about 60 to 64 decibels, and it's a really low-pitched grind too. I think it would send me to sleep rather than wake me up. And the pump sound while pulling shots is really quiet, about 45 to 50 decibels. Steam and milk is always going to be about the same, it's just a sound of aeration, and that will only be really loud if it screams, which means you need to lower the jug slightly to allow more air into the milk. Steaming 170 ml of milk, or 5.75 ounces, to 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit takes about 1 minute and 25 seconds, including the steam ready time, which is about 22 seconds. This is quite close to the Barista Express, by the way. The Express is just a few seconds faster, but there's also almost nothing in it. Shot ready time after steaming milk is about 15 seconds, about 5 seconds slower than the Barista Express, and it auto purges as does the Barista Express when you switch from steam to hot water or espresso. The hot water test didn't go quite as planned. I usually test the time to deliver 200 ml of hot water, but the max this will deliver in one go is about 160 ml, and it delivers that volume in about 50 seconds. Water temperature starts off in the high 80s, but then rapidly decreases towards the mid-60s, and the resulting 160 ml, or about 5.4 ounce cup of hot water, was in the high 60s. Warm-up time, as I've mentioned, is about 50 seconds, which is about 20 seconds slower than the Barista Express, but honestly that makes no difference at all. You'll need to give it a flush to heat before you pull the first shot anyway, so whether the heater is ready to go in 3 seconds, 30 seconds or 50 seconds really doesn't matter in my humble opinion. What do I like about it? The main thing I'd say is how quiet it is. The grinder is unusually quiet, but because it's so low pitch it sounds even quieter than it is. I quite like the look of it, especially this colour. It all seems well built, the grinder isn't messy, and I like the design of the hopper chamber. When it comes to switching beans, it's easy to remove the beans sitting on the top of the burrs. What I don't like about it, as I've said, is that this one doesn't grind fine enough, but it could just need calibrating. I find it weird that the internal burr adjustments only go coarser, and that if you happen to turn the grind time adjustments to just in between 2 dots, then it won't grind. So that's pointed at a dot in between 2 dots. The temperature range for each brew temperature setting seems big, the hot water temperature isn't great, and the max 160ml hot water delivery seems a bit stingy. The portafilter is almost amazing, but I wish it didn't have the plastic stubby nozzles. The manuals aren't great. There's a QR code which takes you to a really good startup guide, so I don't understand why they've not plastered that inside the box and the manual with the QR code. Is this better than the Barista Express? Overall, I'd say no. Sorry, KitchenAid. Close, but no cigar. It's quieter. Some people will prefer the way it looks and the colour choices. It has a bigger water tank and the grinder is very clean and tidy and quiet, but what it's missing is a couple of fundamentals for using standard baskets. 9-bar OPV or adjustable OPV would be even better. The ability to grind fine enough without having to mess around calibrating it, which I'm guessing isn't going to be as easy as just making a tweak to the top burr setting as you can with the Sage machines. It has a few other quirks, as I've mentioned, and it's more expensive, even at RRP. But because the Barista Express has been around for so long, you can often get it for a lot less than the RRP. So this does work out quite a bit more expensive. Who's it for? I think this is for anyone who wants a machine like this, who's bought into the KitchenAid brand, who will happily pay a bit more than they really need to for a machine like this. If this is you, you'll probably love this. It's easy to use, it'll make great cappuccino, latte, flat white and so on, as long as you can calibrate the grinder finer. If this isn't you and you want the best bang for your buck when it comes to a machine like this, for me the Barista Express still wears the crown. You're never going to guess what this one is.
Obviously, there's a pineapple on the top, so that kind of gives the flavour away.
Oh, does it?
Like an
Pineapple
Americano
juice
with a pineapple on top.
I think that's what it is.
So I was right.
Pineapple juice and pineapple and coffee.
It's very...
There's not enough punch to it for what it needs to be.
It literally just... You could convince me that's an Americano with a pineapple on top.
There you go. How many beans?
At this stage, I'm going to go 3 again. If I keep doing 3 today, I don't know.
2 for me. It's just meh. I will take the pineapple ring though.
Oh, here we go.
A ring of pineapple.
Drippy
pineapple.
Pete.
Tatty Bye.
Tatty Bye. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and a very special thank you to all the new channel members. If you want to join in the fun, click on the join button, which is down here somewhere, just below my right... Oh, I can't remember. No! What was just below my right fishnet stocking. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to support the channel by clicking the subscribe button to make it change to subscribed. Also, liking and commenting help too. Another way to subscribe is to click on my face. Tatty Bye!